Hey everyone, Kresge here, doing a quick overview of the map Trident for the upcoming Tier 8 Season 6 of Clan Battles. And I wanted to just add a quick disclaimer that this is really meant for players that are new to Clan Battles, or maybe some of those players that haven't taken it too seriously and played on like a Gale or a Storm level and really want to improve and learn about some basic strategies that the higher level teams take over. Adopt has gotten a lot of help from various clans over the seasons, and we're just trying to do our part to help. So anybody that's like a storm or anybody that's a hurricane or a typhoon level clan, this probably isn't going to be very informative to you. But please, if you see anything that is maybe bad advice or incorrect, please let me know. I want to try to make these as informative as possible, while still keeping it easy to understand quick videos. So I'll begin right here in our practices. All of these islands here that kind of form around the center of the map were very good choke points for radar ships. Especially Baltimore seemed to be pretty strong in this map. As you can kind of see these collection of ships I have down here. You can kind of ignore these. These are just for me to pop up if I need to see a ship. So ignore those a little bit. But I do really want to point out that this map is great for Baltimore. The reason being is that its radar range is 10 kilometers and it has a 30-second radar duration. In Tier 8, you cannot equip that special radar duration module that you can on Tier 9s and 10s. So you are stuck with the 30 seconds. That's as high as you can go. Baltimore was really good for this map versus Chapayev, the other Tier 8 radar ship. Just due to Chapayev only having a 20-second radar, adding the render delay with that, there's not much time your team has to shoot at a destroyer taking a cap from a Chapayev radar. Many cruisers can only get between 1 to 3 salvos off, and if a DD is a good player and they're able to dodge relatively easily most of those shells. So keep that in mind. That's why Baltimore is pretty strong with this map. Just looking at the range of the radar, this red circle right here incorporates the Baltimore's radar range. So everything around this cap, it will be able to radar destroyers approaching the cap from many different spots. It'll be able to radar cruisers hiding behind these islands. So as you can see, this is a good position for a Baltimore. You can also, even if you wanted to, a lot of teams will add multiple Baltimores to their team. And if you add a second Baltimore, and say you position it about here, actually in the water and not on the island, this is going to be a pretty big radar range. So as I mentioned, the radar duration is 30 seconds. So you are blocking out this cap for this zone for about 1 minute if those two ships coordinate the radar and don't overlap with each other. That's a pretty significant amount of time. If you think about it, a game is only 20 minutes. So that does add up. If you are if you use those radars at the right times, you will lock out the map for a good portion. Also want to add real quick too that the hydro range is 5 kilometers. So a Baltimore right here could hydro this duration, these two Baltimores. And the reason why I put these Baltimores here is because it's going to be very easy for two Baltimores to deny the A cap. It's going to be a common strategy. In fact, most times you see two Baltimores there on the enemy team. You have to either decide to ignore A cap and do a BC to push, or you have to try to decide to push out these Baltimores from their spot. Generally, if you put a battleship about here in B cap, if you can get those Baltimores to back up, you can push the Baltimores into get broadsided by a battleship or a cruiser. Generally, a push from this direction and focusing on these Baltimores with the DD spotting will generally do the trick. You'll either push them back far enough for a battleship or another cruiser to get a broadside, or your ships over here, maybe even including your battleship, will be able to kill them before they can back out of there. So you have to position yourself based off of what you see, and that really changes the game. So it's also a real good trick to add could be potentially a good trick to use the Lo Yang's hydro. The Lo Yang's hydro is 5.4 kilometers. So if you pop a Lo Yang in the cap, this is what its hydro range is going to look like. It's going to cover the whole cap, more than the whole cap actually. There's even times where to get these two Baltimore spotted safely, the Lo Yang would hide behind the island right here and would be able to hydro at least one of those Baltimores out of its position. So you could get creative, and again, this all depends on the situation in front of you. I'm not saying always pop a Lo Yang there to get a Baltimore. You might not see a Baltimore, or that Lo Yang could get killed depending on what the enemy is doing. So just try to think outside of the box and use your ship's tools to your advantage. Generally, another strat, real quick, that on most Clan Battles maps is related to key areas of the map. Now, without getting into specifics for each map, as a general rule, the 9-10 line and the 1-2 line of maps generally win games. And what I mean by that is if you push up the middle of the map early on, going this direction, whatever map it might be, this Trident especially, these yellow lines are a death zone. Early in the match, you will probably get focused down, and those ships will die quickly, especially if there has not been any damage done to the enemy team. They're just going to eat you alive. So what we mean by this is the corners of the map will help you push out ships that are hiding behind these islands over here. Just like where I had those Baltimores, it'll help you if you want to do a BC push. You can also incorporate, this sort of, so to speak, rule does incorporate to the outer corners of the map. So the 8 line could be included. However, if you do this, you have to be careful because an enemy can shift. And if the team goes A and you do a BC push, they can easily turn around and focus you down through the middle, and you'll be caught broadside, especially if you go through right here or right here. You'll be an easy target. You have nowhere to really hide behind. So please keep that in mind, especially with your position. The outer edges of the map really offer you a lot of control. And real quick, one more thing before I end the video. Just another note on radar control. Chapayev is a good Russian cruiser for Tier 8 clan battles. Do not play it like a Baltimore. If you look at this right here, the Chapayev will get eaten alive. It doesn't have the same armor layout to last like a Baltimore would, and it also doesn't have the super heavy AP shells. Now, a Baltimore obviously too can be in a bad spot here. It isn't all that much more tanky, so Baltimore does have a little bit better concealment, if I remember right. Maybe it doesn't. I actually don't know all the Tier 8 ships off the top of my head. But generally, the Baltimore is better holding corners like that. It has the longer duration radar. So Chapayev generally should be played as an open water ship, similar to how you would play like Zhao, I guess, if you want to simplify it. Chapayev would want to take a position over here if they're going towards the A cap. Maybe over here, I believe this is a small map, so the Chapayev might be spotted by DD and be in danger from a battleship or something. But over here would be another good spot, as well as possibly over here, depending on what you can shoot at. And if you want to defend Chapayev would be great here, because that radar range is 12 kilometers, so it's a little bit, it's longer range than a Baltimore. So this would be a Chapayev's effective radar range. And same thing, if you want to overlap with your Baltimores here, you could put your Chapayev there and still be able to radar all of ACAP. So if you really wanted to lock down this island right here, these 3 radar ships could control most of the map's vision with their radar. So we put this up to 10 kilometers, this up to 10 kilometers. There's a giant radar zone, and if you really want to, you can move this Baltimore over here, angle him maybe this way to spread out your radar zone. So radar back, Baltimore's radar there. We'll move this radar here, and you can see this is a zone you control with your radar. And obviously, the more you spread out this radar, the more zone control you have, but it's relatively easy from mostly safe islands to control almost half the map with your team's radar. So please keep that in mind when you are placing your radar, that each ship has different strengths and weaknesses, and if you spread out your radar ships and coordinate your radar, you have a large area of vision you can control. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about these videos. If you want me to do more, if there's something else I need to touch on, please let me know. And I'll leave a link for the Adopt Discord. Please, anybody, feel free to stop in there, ask us questions. We have mentors from other clans such as 07, Yikes, whatever they've changed their name to, 007, many different clans, and Adopt is generally happy to answer everything. We don't really keep our clan battle stuff too secret. We like to return the favor other clans have done to us and provide as much information as we can. And we're a teaching clan, so if we're not teaching and helping other people, then we're not doing our jobs. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.